Welcome to the Property Profits Real Estate Podcast, the show where real estate investors talk strategy, capital, deals, and growth with your host, Dave Dubeau.
Hey folks, welcome back. If you're watching this on YouTube and you're seeing the image, then you'll notice that our special guest today, Ryan Narus, is zooming in from a mobile home. Now, why is he doing that? That's because that's what his specialty is. That is what his background is. That's what he's invested in for a long time. And these days, he helps other people get into mobile home park investing as well. Ryan, welcome to the show. Great to have you.
Pumped to be here, Dave. Thanks for having me.
All right, my friend. So first things first, give us a little snapshot of what in real estate investing looks like, or your real estate world looks like for you today as of May of 2026. What do you do?
Yeah, like I said, primarily I coach people and I run charities. That being said, I ballooned from nothing. I had no money, no network, no experience. And 11 years later, bought 87 communities, just light of 4,700 doors. It turns out it's not that simple selling everything. So I still have a little bit. And right now, it's really, really challenging, kind of the next phase of entrepreneurs and the capital pouring into mobile home parks. And so for me, while I'm certainly open to buying more, I want to make sure that damaging legislation as well as damaging landlords don't happen. And I think the best way to do that, to keep the politicians out, as well as keep the slumlords out, is to just do my best to help others. And the more this can be free, the better, because the more people I can help get involved.
Okay, so when you're talking with people about investing in mobile home parks, what are some of the big benefits that you explain to them about this particular asset class versus, a lot of people think about apartment buildings or commercial properties or, flex industrial these days? What in your mind are the big selling points to mobile home parks?
The entrepreneur in me will tell you it's not financial. The entrepreneur, the inner Steve Jobs, will tell you that you have to love what you do, because it gets so dang hard that if you're not absolutely in love with it, it will beat you down until you quit. And I said this on a charity debate we had against self-storage folks who felt like they were winning the debate, until I said, and I quote, "It's kind of hard to get passionate about someone's old rusty golf bags and golf, right? Like, whereas we're literally in a crisis in the United States of America with affordable housing. They ain't building any more affordable housing, and the affordable housing that's around, it's NIMBYism. People don't want it in their backyards. Someone needs to own this and care about it." So that alone is the biggest draw to me, to go and help others and to merge. It's a win-win-win. Your investors win, you win, and your residents win. But let's talk for a second about the financial benefits. First and foremost, the depreciation is absolutely wonderful. Your government it has more tax law around not paying taxes than paying taxes. In other words, they want to incentivize you to do things like invest in affordable housing, because they ain't building any more of it, by giving you tax breaks and benefits. It is absolutely enormous what you can do in terms of shielding tax if you're a real estate professional. And then outside of that, traditionally speaking, mobile home parks default at one of the lowest, if not arguably the lowest rates. So in other words, it's a less risky asset class. And in terms of bankability, it's a lot harder to get a mobile home park loan than traditional multifamily. What does that mean? Higher cap rates, right? Because you have to hit your IRR on the cash flow. So as you have a dwindling supply of affordable housing, because again, they're not building anymore, they're slowly suffering attrition. And as demand continues to rise, as we're seeing, especially with AI flooding the marketplace, you actually have an incredible supply-demand situation in your favor, which in theory means it continues to appreciate as well. So my sales pitch to the financial minded individuals is you kind of get your cake and eat it too. You get some strong yield, you get some strong appreciation, so therefore good IRR, as well as tax benefits, as well as, again, non-financial, squishier. You're really making a difference in the world, which is initially what drew me to the asset class.
So it can't all be, sugar and spice and everything nice. What are some of the drawbacks to mobile home parks and mobile home investing?
Oh my God, everybody hates you. Everybody. The city hates you, code enforcement hates you, the zoning people hate you, developers hate you, your neighbors hate you because they think you're supporting grungy trailer park meth rapey people. These are wonderful human beings. I am literally in a mobile home park today. I went around door to door talking to individuals today. These are folks who are your barista at Starbucks, or they're your school teachers, firefighters. These are normal folks for all intents and purposes that either have low income or they're going through tough times. They got hurt on the job and they can't work. They went through a nasty divorce. These folks they deserve love and someone to care for them. But we live in the United States of America. In other words, in the United States of me. And if I'm not telling you what you want to hear in this moment, you hate me. So that is the thing. There are some folks that will absolutely annihilate you. I mean, rip you a new one just because it's Tuesday. And it just takes a certain type of patience and love and passion to want to serve folks who just can be just brutal. And want to get up and do it every day. And for one reason or another, Dave, that's how I was wired.
Hey there, if you're a capital raiser, a syndicator, or a fund manager, and you're looking for a steady flow of incoming accredited investor leads, then go ahead, grab a free copy of my new book, How to Get 20 Accredited Investor Meetings Every Month Without Cold Calling, Networking, or Chasing People. You can get that at 20accreditedinvestorsbook.com. Again, that's the number 20accreditedinvestorsbook.com.
Very cool. So Ryan, you mentioned that there's a huge discrepancy between supply and demand. Does that translate into a lack of good deals out there for investors? Or what does that landscape look like these days? Because like you said, they're not making any more of this.
Of course, because you can't just go build one without massive resistance from, again, city council. Oh, we need more affordable housing. Okay, well, then I will spend all the money. I have the plot of land. Just give me my zoning and entitlements. Oh, well, right? Like you run into that everywhere except for like rural Texas, where we're seeing mobile home parks get developed. And that's the easy answer is I'm a capitalist at heart, Dave. I think you let people vote with their wallets and you'll see better service. You'll see better products. And as soon as you get crony capitalism, it starts to disintegrate. So to me, the focus has got to be buying these responsibly. But man, when there's limited supply and there's just not that many available and folks are chasing it for the wrong reasons, like they're chasing a fee from a private equity shop or a fee to manage it or the tax incentives or, for one reason or another, except for serving the people at B, that raises prices. And then, you had 3 interest rates for years pre-COVID and leading up to COVID. I'm 11 years in this summer, and I've lived in 2 totally different eras of mobile home parks, arguably 3. And when debt was free and yield everywhere was basically zero. I mean, treasuries were like 1% or less. Money markets were a joke, and so you can go buy something like a mobile home park and have good yield, and it's a tangible asset. It just flooded the marketplace with capital. And once the private equity shops got in, I mean, you look at any business that PE floods in, if they want it, they will make you an offer you can't refuse. And that compresses cap rates. But the problem with compressed cap rates plus high interest rates is Now all of these mom and pops who've been sitting on these since, the 60s and 70s, they got no debt. They have no reason to sell. They've been getting yesterday's pricing with yesterday's interest rates, and that's their anchor now. That's where they want to sell. And the cash flow doesn't match when your mortgage is 6, 7, 8%. You can't pay 6 and under cap rates when debt is that high. And, maybe debt comes or interest rates come down here in the next couple months or couple years, but I don't think they're going back to zero. And that makes things challenging outside of the sheer fact that they just aren't making them and there's not many of them.
Yeah, so that's the question. Doesn't sound like a very positive asset class to try and get involved in these days. So when you're working with people, when you're coaching them, how do you show them how to find deals?
Because in good times and bad, people are buying. 2008, 1987, I mean, keep going back throughout history, people were buying stuff. Even people who own office buildings right now that bought pre-COVID still own office buildings and are doing just fine. It's the speculative buyers who get in trouble. So I am sitting in an 18-lot mobile home park right now. You know who's not calling up 18-lot mobile home parks? Brokers. Why? Yeah. The fees aren't strong enough for brokers to care about. The PE shops, you think they want to deal with 3 acres in Elmira, New York? They don't. So in other words, you can come into a small secondary or tertiary city like an Elmira, New York, where, I mean, you look behind me, there's constant traffic here. This is not the middle of nowhere. I find that the population is declining, but you can do very well as just a guy off the streets with a small non-institutional property that'll never be institutional, and you can avoid the storm by creating your niche within a niche. So that's what I help people figure out.
So are you typically going direct to seller in that situation if the brokers aren't interested in these kind of properties?
You have no choice. You've got to network, you've got to call, you've got to send letters, you got to do all the brokers. Because you're right, the brokers just won't touch them.
Right. Interesting. So it's almost like the I buy houses situation with single family homes, looking for really crappy properties, not necessarily a crappy property here, but you're looking for that mom and pop owner that's got a property that's too small to really be attractive to anybody big and directly communicate with that.
It's funny. It's not just the mom and pops though, because a lot of, especially in small towns, you see this in small towns where you'll have like a handful of families own like half the real estate in the town.
Right.
And they just happen to have a mobile home park. And they got their broker friends or their banker friends or their investor friends. And you would be shocked at how many kind of off-market deals don't necessarily come from mom and pops. They come from just sheer networking.
Interesting. Very, very cool. Well, that's valuable stuff, Ryan. So as we're recording this, we're May of 2026. What are your plans for the next 12 to 24 months when it comes to real estate investing, mobile home parks? What are you up to?
So I'm kind of taking a break, and I'll tell you why. Because I think AI is going to change the world, and I'm more of a doomer than a boomer in regards to like, do I think it's going to be, like Skynet is going to come? If you're a Terminator fan, like Skynet is coming to take, right? I think it's going to be very similar. I'm a history guy. I think it's not going to be identical to the internet.com bubble, but it's going to rhyme. I think it's going to happen a lot faster than the internet did. I think adoption rates.
It can think for itself. That's kind of.
I think when it thinks for itself, and this is where I'm more of a doomer, is I don't think AGI is as close as people who are very, very much so needing you to believe that it is, because their jobs and net worth, everything depends on it, right? I think we're being BS'd or maybe outright lied to about the actual performance of it. That being said, the utility is undeniable. And especially with microprocessing, it's the future. And if I can get out ahead of that now and understand not only how it works and how I can use it, but more importantly than that, how human beings are going to use it. Because Dave, how many technologies have we seen in our lives that have been unbelievable, but then no one used it, right? Like, to me, the fascinating thing about AI is like my 75-year-old dad using it, who's incredibly resistant to technology. Not throwing shade at my dad. He's wonderful.
Yeah.
Love you, Dad. But the reality is, if he's using ChatGPT to perform Google searches, what that means for my RV parks, which I own too, by the way, is that I can guarantee you, if it's not already happening, it's going to happen in short order. People who go, I want to go visit, Knoxville, Tennessee. What RV park should I stay at? They're going to stop using Good Sam as much and start using ChatGPT. So I better rank on AI search, if nothing else, for my own marketing. So that's I don't want to say I'm taking a complete pause from acquisitions, but the properties that I own now are pretty stable, and they're much smaller in nature. My 4,700 doors, Dave, that's lifetime. So I don't own 4,700 right in this moment. But for me, I don't need to acquire. I would rather get ahead of this and help people along the way. That's kind of what's next for me.
Cool. Ryan, if people want to find out more and connect with you, where should they go?
I believe I'm the only Ryan Narus in the world. It's a Lithuanian last name, if you can believe it. Small little country, Eastern Europe. You Google me, my Facebook, or sorry, not my Facebook, my LinkedIn and my website pop up first. I have it designed that way so you, listener, Mr. and Mrs. Listener, can find me. I don't have anything to sell to you. I don't want anything from you. I just want to make the world a better place by inspiring others and helping coach others. I've helped over 1,000 people in this asset class absolutely for free, and fully committed to continuing do so, because I believe the way you keep bad politics out of a good thing is you invite the right people. So if you're a good person and you're listening and you're interested in mobile home parks or real estate in general, I do office, retail, and RV parks as well, reach out to me. I'm telling you right now, I ain't hard to find on purpose, because I want to make the world a better place because I was in it.
Awesome. Thanks for being on the show, Ryan.
Thanks for having me.
All right, everybody, take care, and we'll see you on the next one.
Thanks for listening to the Property Profits Podcast. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, apply at daveinterviewyou.com.